Good afternoon, YouTube. It's your man, Lloyd George Page, coming to you live on YouTube. Today is episode 21 of MuscleTalk Monday. As you know, we're doing these. We have one more Muscle Talk coming up, and we're doing some talking about some ladies in the sport of bodybuilding. My man Jared, he is going to be here in a bit. I'm going to send him a link, and we're going to talk about a lady that, if you see, if you look at the screen, we'll talk about a lady that's a legend. I'm a big fan of, and that is one Miss Laura Creavalle. And Miss Laura Creavalle is considered one of the greatest female bodybuilders in the sport. She is a two-time um, Olympia's runner-up. No, I think two or three times, I believe. Yeah, and also three times. I think she's three times. She was runner-up. I think in 90. I think she went up in 92 and 93, and then she was a runner up in 90, 99 with Kim Savetsky. And she's a three-time Miss International, which is, pretty good. And she has just, wait a minute. I got to, excuse me. Anyway, I'm working on something here. Just sent it to Jared, and I should be getting him in a bit. Yeah. Yeah, see, I should get Jared. I think that's Jared should get it. Let me see. Anyway, you know, like I said, I'm a big fan of Kim Savetsky. I think she was one of the best. Kim of Laura Crevalle. I think she was one of the best women in the sport. She had amazing muscle, great physique. As you know, she was originally born in Guyana, and that's in the West Indies. And she moved to Canada at a young age. So she's also uh, she's a bodybuilder who started a career in the great state of Canada. And I think she has a pretty good record. Probably one of the best in the sport. And like I said, I sent the thing to Jared. Hope Jared can get it. If not, I'll talk about her because I'm a big fan of hers. I just did a comparison video a while back. I compared her with Asher Hadley. So why Asher Hadley? Well, I think they look about like in comparisons in a way. I think about the same height, same complexion. That's why I choose her. Now, someone who's in a way it's like comparison there as a competitor, hey, who's got me? Hey, yeah, yeah, my man Blue, yeah, uncreated, thanks, yeah. I sent the link, yeah, I sent the link, Jerry. You should have the link. And most definitely I sent it. So check your email. You should have it. Yeah, yeah, Blu-ray. She was the uncrowned Miss Olympia. I think some feel like she should have won it in '99. I think she maybe '94, but I think really '99. You like I say, Linda was just so dominant in the '90s. And then you had Kim Javetsky. She was just, you know, see, I think really the sport changed with Kim Javetsky. When Kim competed against Linda, Kim was a smaller girl, but then in '96 she came in bigger, and that's why I think it was so harder for Laura because Kim was a new standard. Kim changed things. Yeah, Blu-ray, yeah, because Kim didn't look as cut. She just bulky in '99. You know, you know. So I think I sent you the yeah. Oh, salute to my man. Yeah, thanks, Marcus, for coming through and dropping that smashing that like. I appreciate it. Always appreciate when any of my CS Combat Sports family come in, drop a like. But Jerry should have that. Check your email. If not, let me just send another invite. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Kim did change. I think Blu-ray TV. Kim did change it a bit. She came in a little bigger in '96, but in '99 she came really big. She wasn't as cut as she was in those last 2 years. Okay, I'll send it again for you, um, Jared. Give me a minute. Anyway, but yeah, Kim was a little bigger. She I think compared to uh um Laura that year, Laura looked a little great division, had great definition. Some people think in '98 Yolanda Hughes should have won, and I kind of agree. Yolanda had a great physique. She was a great poser. I think she should have won, but I think because, let's say, like I said again, the blonde female standard of being her who she was, that's why they gave it to Kim. And plus they were overseas in Prague, so I don't know. Maybe the judges felt different. I can't say, but I feel like 90 those last two Miss Olympias were a gimme for Kim Zavetsky. Yeah. So if you agree with me, see, yeah, you should. It's true. Those last two Miss Olympias was a gimme for Kim Zevsky. Yeah, Lisa was tall. And I think now, I think it's one thing also like like I think I think also Monique Jones is tall too, Blu-ray. So that's why I think. But Monique, I think the at the Rise of Phoenix, Monique King, she needed to work a little more. She really, I think one thing with Monique was had the size, but she needs to be a little bit more cut. I think one thing with Monique is her abdominals. She has a daughter, and I said this before. If you watch my other videos, I said this: most female bodybuilders who had kids before they became bodybuilders, their cell wall, your abdominal wall, is depending on the size of the child or how many kids they have, it's never the same. They don't have great abs. Like I just did a video about my friend Tanner Hugh. She has a son. Um, who else? Who was a bodybuilder? Tisha Thomas. I'm working on her. I read about her. You know, I don't know how. Monique is like about 5'10". Blu-ray. She's 5'10". But there we go. Forget Jared. There you go.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing? Anyway, just talking to get Bluey here, and we're talking about Miss Laura Creavalle, the uncrowned Miss Olympia, three-time Miss International. She's just one of my favorite all-time bodybuilders. Just about a few weeks ago, I did a video to celebrate her birthday. She is, can you believe it? She's in her 60s, and she was just amazing back then. She had just one of those great physiques. And she just had a look to her. She was just great muscle, attractive. I mean, I know she's a little bit before your time, but I would tell you should really
Yeah,
research her.
yeah, yeah. She definitely was a little bit before my time, but yeah, she definitely was very amazing bodybuilder. She definitely was one that I knew about, but again, yeah, she was a little bit before my time.
Yeah,
Also, do you like my avatar? I changed it up a bit. This is my
that's cool. That's cool.
World
That's
of
cool.
Warcraft. This is my World of Warcraft character.
That's cool. That's great. That's why you like my avatar. I'm the Joker. Because I have two. Well, like if you look at my own page, I have an avatar which is it's Jiraiya, which is the Pervy Sage, and that's I just last night I just did a video where I called my anti Valentine's Day Pervy Sage video, which is a live stream, and this is my Joker, and Joker only comes out when it's anarchy, and Pervy Sage comes out when he wants to be pervy. So anyway,
Hmm.
oh Heather Armbrust had a great physique too. And don't forget about Sarah Hayes. um uh uh um Blu-ray, Sarah Hayes. She was one of those great physique, never got fake boobs until she retired, came back a physique competitor, and she had fake boobs. But anyway, if anybody know anything about Laura Crevalle, she started her career about a good part of the early '80s. I think she turned pro right about 84, 85. And I think if I can research it, because like I said, like if you don't have everything together, I know because I did a video about Miss Crevalle,
She turned pro in
and
1988.
and info about her, and there's so much stuff about her. She did a lot of bodybuilding. She was married to her husband Chris, feet cooking and all this stuff to the fact that she believed in it. And they had their own. I think they had their own little bed and breakfast back in Connecticut or somewhere till they got divorced. I think they got divorced about the 2000s. And then I remember she came back in 2002 and she competed as a lightweight. And to me, that was her best physique. I mean, she just. I think the problem was she just felt like she couldn't probably make um, heavyweight, and she competed as a lightweight. But to me, she just felt so undersized that year.
Yeah, yeah, and I saw her 2002 presentation, and she did look a little small compared to her 1999 performance. Um,
Hmm.
Definitely when she was at definitely her peak uh, in terms of size, symmetry, muscularity. Yeah, I'm just seeing her right now. And yeah, it's pretty amazing. Um,
Yeah, like I said,
uh,
she had one of the physiques. I think one time they said that there was. I remember somebody saying that her boob job was considered one of the worst boob jobs in the history of bodybuilding because what she, how I think she got hers done with um I think she had hers done with I think she had them put under the breast tissue. So I remember I think Ron Lee told me I think most women put them over top of the breast tissue to give them that natural look, and she had hers under. And but like I said, she had at least she her running ups like she had at least 92 was her she debuted at Miss Olympia 89. Then she won her first Miss International in 1990. Now her next Miss Olympia that same year she took fourth.
uh,
And in
just one
91,
correction. Sorry.
yeah,
She pro debuted 1998 Miss Olympia.
98. Okay, yeah, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Thank you for helping me out. Yeah, but she took 11th place. Yeah, I'm looking at the information. Yeah, she took 11th place that year, and she made the top 10. Then she came back in '92, and '92 was the year where I remember that was the year where Paula Buckenshaw from Great Britain she was at the Olympia, the Miss International, and she took 8th place, and they were pushing Andrea Schreiner to be the next Olympia because I remember seeing in the magazine how they had a picture Andrea and Miss Olympia. Yeah, I love you know Blu-ray. Seemed like a lot of female bodybuilders wore gold bikini. People forget. Everybody remembers when Denise Rosowski wore her gold bikini, but there's been a lot of female bodybuilders that wear gold bikinis, but gold posing suits. Like I think uh, um, Rita Bello, she's won one. Um, Annie with Vicchio, um, Sue Price. Sue Price wore a gold bikini. You know, there's a I might do a video talking about who wore it better in a gold bikini. That's a good idea. I'll do it later on sometime. But anyway, uh, let's get back to Miss um let's get back to the dear Miss now. Now, 92, like I said, 92, she took third in Miss International. And that was the year Andrea Schreiner won. And we're pushing Andrea Schreiner to be the next Miss Olympia. Andrea didn't win Miss Olympia. I think she took second that year. And that year, Olympia in 92, nope. Laura took second at Miss Olympia that year. Then in 93, she came back. She didn't compete at the Miss International that year. So she did Miss Olympia. She took third. And that was the year that Denise Wachowski took second. And a lot of people saying like Denise came back next year, and she probably could have won, but she didn't. She went bats, just disappeared. Now in '94, Laura took her another second place at Miss Olympia, and she took her second Miss International win. Then 95, her third Miss International win. Then 95 Miss Olympia, she took fifth. And I think that was the year. Nope, that was the year where Kim didn't win to 96. So I think the top five that year, I'm trying to think. I think it was Linda. I believe it was Kim. I'm trying to think who else made the top five that year in '95. Because if Laura made fifth, she must have become a great competition. She made fifth. Then in '96 at Miss International, she took second. In '96, she took fourth at the Miss Olympia, which that was the year where Kim won and and Linda lost. And she skipped the Miss International '97, which she took fourth in the Miss Olympia. And she's focused on Miss Olympia the last few years.
Okay, so I got, you were looking for the top six for the 1995 Miss Olympia, right?
The top five, yeah. Who's top five '95?
Okay,
I know.
We got first is Linda Murray.
Yeah.
Second is Kim Chevesky.
Yeah.
Third is Natalina Murnikovi. That's a Lithuanian.
That's a Lithuanian with the dark hair,
yeah.
The blue eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember her. Yeah, she was like the precursor for Lita Poopa.
Yeah. And you got Sue Price, and then finally you have Laura.
Sure. Who was fourth?
Oh, fourth was Sue Price, and then fifth was Laura.
Yeah. I remember talking to Sue Price about that because she came in fourth, and I remember Sue Price said that she didn't want to, because Sue Price was one of the smallest girls at that time. But Sue Price was like 5 foot 5'1", I think she was, and she said she didn't want to go as big. She wanted to stay within a certain size, and Sue didn't want to go any bigger. Because especially with her frame, Sue would have been perfect for physique. If Sue can compete today, if Sue had the same physique today she had back then, she would be perfect for physique. I think she would be perfect for physique. And I think after run up too many times, she should have won one. Yeah, that's always it. Yeah, Sue was in Blu-ray. Sue was in Nemesis 4. She was in a lot of Nemesis movies. I think she was in the first, Nemesis 4 and a bunch of other Nemesis movie. Even one time I posted how that part when she comes out of the water naked. That's crazy. But like I said, she had amazing physique. I just wish they sent some packages to for doing the interview we did about a few months ago. She's a nice lady. She works as a postal service. She still works out, but she's a nice lady. She's a mother of two kids, twins. But anyway, I think after she do now remember, I think in '98 she let's see, '98 she took fifth place. Now I know the runner up in that show was Yolanda Hughes, and she took fourth. Now let's go like this. Now in '96 she took fourth, and I know Linda took second in that show. She was running up in that show because that's the show she lost.
Yeah.
And who were who was in third that year?
The Lithuanian
Okay, yeah, and then we had to return. And then she comes back in '97. She takes another fourth place. We all know that Linda took second, and I think was that the Lithuanian took third.
No, Hughes. You know her name.
Yolanda Hughes.
Yeah, Yolanda. Yeah.
Yeah, Yolanda Hughes. Okay, yeah, I think it was Yolanda. So Yolanda took second in '98 when they took the show to Prague.
Oh, 98.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Oh, I'm looking at 97.
Yeah.
Yolanda took second.
Yeah, took second, and I think third went to Lisa Lewis, or was it no? There's another chick. Vicky took third. Fourth went to somebody else. Who was that?
That was Lisa Lewis.
Okay.
And then
Laura was fifth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of chocolate up there. You had Creavalle, and you had Yolanda, Vicky, Lisa, and Laura, and you had the only cream on top was Kim Zabeski.
Well, I mean, if it's like top six, it would be with Kim and Andrew
Bachette.
Yeah.
Andrew Bachette. Yeah, Andrew was like that was remember back in 2000. Andrew took she shared the Miss Olympia with Valentina Shipik, and to me they should have given it to Andrew. The reason why Andrew was a lightweight, but she was kind of big for a lightweight, and yeah, and Andrew was big. Yeah, she was big for a lightweight, but what it was, why we went with Valentina had that look. She was, even though she was a heavyweight, she looks like she could have been. If you look at it today, you can compare her to today's physique competitors. She looked more like physique, and but that's why what it did was the judges. I think the IFBB want to satisfy the fans by having Andrula sharing the title, and want to satisfy the sponsors and the executives by having Valentina. But to me, that was bullshit. They should have just went ahead and gave the title to Andrula. She deserved it. And I follow her on social media. She has some medical issues. She said she wanted to come back at one point, but she just had an amazing body. There were some great British bodybuilders like Andrew Bachette, Joanna Lee, Brady Price. I mean, Paula Birkinshaw. Joanna Thomas, rest in peace. I mean, Lisa Cross is pretty good. Renee Campbell, she was great before she got all tatted up. I mean, there were some great British bodybuilders.
Just to let you know, I'm going to actually be meeting a British IFBB pro in March, so I'll let you know how that goes.
Okay, that's great. That's cool. That's cool. I remember you told me that lady, the one that competed against Joanna years ago, and you could never find any information about her any more than that.
No, not really. It's I just saw some of her competitions in the British Championships. Yeah, she had a great body, and she was really amazing. And I just don't know why she wasn't able to turn pro and grace the Olympia stage. It's tragic. But yeah, I do also agree with you. 1998 Miss Olympia was really good. There's a lot of really huge women of color on the stage with Kim. Um, and blank shit. Um, uh, yeah, I think this is like the high mark of some of my favorites. Yolanda, Vicky Gates, Lisa Lewis, and Laura. George, you there? Testing.
Like it usually does, it goes in and out. But like you were
Computer
saying,
problems?
Jared, yeah, I need to get a new one. I've been having this one about 6 years. But you were saying, Jared, about the lady.
Which one? Oh, yeah. The Pat Patricia King. Yeah. Oh, she had an amazing physique, and I
Hmm.
think she was robbed of getting her IFBB Pro card and competing in the Miss Olympia. It's really quite a shame. It's um,
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. There was a lot. There've been a lot of women who had great potential, but the judges went with it some way. And sometimes I think when they get discouraged, they want to come back, and that happens. I can't fault them if they feel like they get cheated out of opportunity to go pro. But you know what? Sometimes you got to keep on trying. There's been ladies who've been competing 20 years, and then they take a break, and they come back and they finally get their pro card. Sometimes that's good. You take that break, you let your body rest. You try new things. Sometimes you even like some ladies, they might even go ahead and decide, what, like Shanique Grant just retired. She said she retired from competitive bodybuilding, and she said she wants to focus on become a mother and have some kids or whatever and be a wife. But she's 25 years old. I would say I give her maybe, if she has a couple of kids, I'll give her a few more years. She might want to come back and compete. Because if you have a competitive nature, you want to come, it's just that nature of your competitive nature is going to say, you know what, I love being a wife and a mother, but you know what, I want to do something else. And you come back. Yeah. But anyway, in 99, uh, as you know, that was a year where there was almost no Miss Olympia.
yep.
And they had two shows that year. They had it at I think it was a convention hall in New Jersey, and
Yep.
she took third at that show. I think second was Vicky Gates, and Kim took her fourth Miss Olympia, and then after that Kim retired. And then there was another show called the Pro Extravaganza, and she won that show. And then for 3 years we didn't see Laura for a while, and she came back in 2002. And I remember when I was looking at the magazines, I said, that can't be Laura Crevalle. And she looked so undersized. And she competed lightweight because as you know, she started her career as a middleweight. And I said this before,
Yeah.
when you compete as an amateur, you start as a lightweight. When you come up to the pro level, you got to be like the size of a middleweight. When you start out as a middleweight, you got to be the size of a heavyweight. And when you're heavyweight, you have to be more conditioned, more toned. And I've seen some heavyweights that really, look pretty good when they started out, but then that changed. Like this one heavyweight lady, bodybuilder, Teresa Insvik, and when she was competing as amateur, she was huge. She was huge. But these last few years, because I think people telling her to look, try more feminine, to lose, and she lost a lot of her size. She's in great condition, but not as big as she used to be. And she knows
Yeah.
she won Chicago Pro last year, and she didn't. I think she took 14th at the Miss Olympia. So I feel. But like I said, I think Laura Crevalle was one of the great ladies of the sport. I mean, she had a great physique, a great body. She was it 2019. She was at the Olympia because, as you know, Jake Woods and Windsor Spring was announcing the return of Miss Olympia to the Olympia weekend, and she looked pretty good. Like I said, then she was like in her, she was just I think ooh about 60 something, just about her 60s then, and she looked in good. She looked in good shape. I know she's married now to her second husband. She's a devout Christian. She cooks, you know, and I've seen some pictures of her. One picture where she's like dressed in kind of uh like if you ever watch Brazil, they have that big kind of Mardi Gras thing, and
Yeah.
she's dressed up with the flowers and with the feathers and stuff like that. And boy, I wish I was there.
Yeah. I was doing some research on her as well. Yeah, she was born in British Ghana,
Yeah.
um, which was a colony of the time of the British Empire until 1966, and then it became part of the Commonwealth. Um, I actually saw a article in, I believe it's like some Ghanaian online newspaper or something. It was like a response to an article that said Laura was the best Ghanaianese uh, female bodybuilder of all time, or bodybuilder of all time, period.
Hmm.
And it basically said that she never competed for the nation of Ghana. She always competed as a Canadian or American. So the person responding said she wouldn't qualify as the greatest Ghanaianese female bodybuilder of all time. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that because yeah, this also reminds me a lot of Diana Cadeau. She was born in Haiti, but she grew up in Canada and competed as a Canadian. Um, so, would she be classified as the greatest Haitian bodybuilder of all time, or the greatest Canadian bodybuilder of all time? Because she technically would apply to both.
Hmm. Yeah. And I think she, like any of them, like I said, I did a couple of videos where I talk about certain bodybuilders from the West Indies. As you know, there's quite a few of them. Like I said, Danica Doe, she's from the West Indies. There's also Rosemary Jennings, she's from Barbados. You have Kiajima Marjan, she's from Trinidad Tobago. You have I'm trying to think who else. There's a lady by the name of Tana Hugh. She's from Jamaica. Um, see, I'm trying to think of another one. Um,
Ship. Um, Elena Ship, I think. Did I get the name
Elena who?
right? Elena Ship.
Elena Ship.
Uh,
Oh, I didn't
yeah.
know. Oh, I didn't know. Elena. Oh, I know she was from where she's from originally.
Okay. Let's see here. She competes all over the map. Let's see here. Elena Ship. Here she goes.
Because I know one thing she has in common with another bodybuilder. Both her and Margie V. Martin are former Marines.
Yeah. Uh, says here she was originally from Barbados.
Uh huh.
She's also lived in the United States and Israel. She also
Yeah. Because
competed as an Israeli. Uh, I think now she competes as an American.
yeah. 'Cause I think her husband he worked as for the Israel's I think he worked for America for Israel's embassy or something. I remember I read that about her. I might do something about her. She
Yeah.
had a great physique. She was she had a cute ninja physique. She stopped. I think she last competed back in 2016 at the
Yep.
Rising Phoenix, and she tied for number 15, number 16 at the
16.
show.
Yeah.
16, yeah. And after that, she disappeared.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Hopefully
I
she
think
comes back.
we never know. Like I said, a lot of these ladies, that's been at least about 6 years. And a lot of these ladies take some time off. Like as you know, I did my thing with Nancy Lewis, and she took a lot of time off here and there, here and there, here and there. And Monique Jones, she hadn't competed for almost 3 or 4 years before she competed at the um, Muscle Fest. And there's that. Remember, Juliet Bergman practically competed 15 years. She came back in 2001 um, Miss Olympia, and they gave it Miss Olympia because they wanted somebody other than Vicky Gates. They didn't want to get tired of Vicky Gates.
Yeah.
You know, Vicky Gates could
I
have won
think.
back. But
Yeah. I think the only bodybuilder that I can think of that's pretty much competed nonstop without retiring, without taking any time off, is probably Yaxini.
true.
And
Well,
she
she
just
has.
retired. Yeah.
Actually, she has. You think about it. Her last show was back in 2018, 2019, in Rise of Phoenix.
Uh, oh, I
Yes,
think I
because
remember that.
yeah, because and she came back last year. She hadn't competed for almost maybe a year or two. But Tick, yeah, she's been consecutive for a good long time. But yeah, and I think she said she officially retired. But when I was talking
Yep.
with Nancy Lewis, she could have, if she wanted to, she could have kept on going because she's only 53, 54, and you got a couple of bodybuilders that a year or two older than her, like you what's her name? What's her name? Irene Anderson. Irene Anderson's about 56, and there's also a lady I follow, um, um, Maria Flores. She's almost 60, and Maria has a. I mean, I follow Maria on Facebook, and her body is amazing. I think she kind of. I think this is I've said before that some women hit their peak in their mid 30s, but right now I think even though she's almost 60, Maria hits her peak, and she has some crazy um, shoulders. She has boulder shoulders. You gotta check her out. Just put a search for Maria Flores on Facebook. Me and her husband, the Colonel, we talk back. We have a little banner, but we're pretty good. You know,
Lisa
but I think
Lisa Auckland, Lisa Auckland, and Betty
Lisa Auckland had a
Barisa,
great,
both are older,
Better Barista,
and Lisa Auckland.
yeah. Betty, she was pretty good. And one thing, remember, Betty was the one. If you remember, the crab pose, or what they call the most muscular pose that usually be done by men. They were telling Betty to do the pose because the fact was Betty started doing the pose because, well, like I follow some bodybuilders. They tell me this information that Betty wasn't scoring so well on some of the shows. So when she started doing the free posing, she started doing the crab pose, and she started doing better. I think she won the Jantana a couple of times, and she was getting higher scores in some of the shows. And Lisa Auckland, she was kind of like, I think I could play Lisa Auckland to maybe uh, Debbie Mugley or see Sandra Riddell or Doria Kearns. That those group of blondes that they had that look to them, great bodies, but didn't really do as well as they should. People thought they would have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's interesting how that happens sometimes.
yeah.
Um,
Like we talk about Debbie Leniski.
yeah,
I think something like Debbie Leniski, she had a look. Yeah, she pretty great body. You think she would do pretty good, but I think she took a couple of run-up spots and placed in the top five, but she didn't do good as she should have. A lot of people thought it would, especially if the idea is that they want to bring in women that looks more feminine, more attractive, not as big, but still, that's when But the judges went with Iris because Iris come in a better condition, and then you had uh you remember Annie Friedez, don't you?
remind me again.
Annie Friedez, she was Brazilian.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay. Now I know what you're talking about. It
Yeah,
took me a second.
she yeah. When you see her now, she went to physique, but now she just looks like a cartoon, like I think she did something where her waistline is so sunning in, you know,
Yeah,
and her physique's just really. I don't think she competes anymore. I think she stopped competing about 3 or 4 years ago.
yeah.
Like I said,
Um, if you're interested, there is a article in the Nation called "Lost in Amazonia" by Wendy Steiner in 2000 that mentions this this expedition of hyper muscular women um, with Bill Dobson and Laura at it. It's an interesting article because, as you know, the Nation isn't like it's not a bodybuilder or fitness focused kind of what do you call it magazine. It's more of like a political magazine. So it's covering female bodybuilding. I find it pretty interesting, especially with like Laura in it.
hmm yeah. That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. As like quite often, there's few magazines and stories about female bodybuilders. There was that Nat Geo had a special called Taboo, where it talked about female bodybuilding. MSNBC had one a few years ago where they talked with I think it was I talked about it before. It was Heather Foster, Rosemary Jennings, and Colette Nelson. You know, and talk about them. And also, I think that show, Colette Nelson was complete the Nationals. And I remember there's a part in that where there's a female bodybuilder named Michelle Tuggle, and she had to drop out of the show because she was dehydrated. She almost fainted. You know, and that's been so long ago. I think if you could probably find it on YouTube. Most times, all that stuff you can find on
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen it before. I've seen all the
yeah,
ones you're talking about.
yeah. And like I said, and I think it's a mystery for a lot of people about the sport of bodybuilding. I think people are curious about why women want to be like this. Now, saying why you ask why don't the men? Why the men? It's
Yeah,
a sport. And we say like this thing, the sport really needs more advertisement. As you know, I think they're supposed to be in negotiations with CBS to come to television, and The Rock is making some deals for them, and they might televise some competition shows. CBS don't have a lot of sports anymore because most sports now is either on Fox Sports, also
Yeah.
ESPN. They pretty much control everything. Um, CBS don't have as many major league sports like they used to back in the day, other than football and NBC, ABC, ESPN and TNT runs most of basketball and baseball. I think that's mostly you know by cable and also by Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I think bodybuilding should probably have its own, you know, kind of channel like that. You know.
I said that. Yeah, I said it before, but the problem is that Stephen said that it's not as popular enough. It's hard to get advertisers for it. If you don't get like big advertisers that back it, like other than maybe a few apparel or weightlifting advertisers or maybe certain other ones. If you don't get the big money ones like maybe someone like Nike. Like here's one like this. Like as you remember a few years ago, Tiger Woods went after his divorce and that scandal he had with all those women. He lost a lot of sponsors, Gatorade, Cadillac, but the one sponsor that kept with them was Nike. And the reason why was he brought Nike to golf, and Nike made a lot of money when they went over to golf. And because of that, they stuck with Tiger because all the money they made because because of Tiger.
Yeah.
They didn't leave Tiger. All the other sponsors left Tiger except for Nike. I remember that commercial was black and white, and there was it was like you can hear his father's voiceover talking to him. You know, but if you get something like you may not get Nike. UFC has Reebok. There's a couple of shoe companies like like maybe Adidas or I'm trying to think of somebody. Converse, who probably, if they might be interested, reach out into, bodybuilding, even if like, for training, like, running, like I said, most bodybuilders don't run because, running is just not good for their joints. But, they still wear shoes for training and, or, for clothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, but yeah, it's I guess it is kind of hard to get sponsors like that kind of stuff. I know I would watch it religiously, and I know you would as well. I guess the I don't know. People I guess act bodybuilding. Sometimes I guess the debate is it a sport or not, or like I think that's a stupid debate because it obviously is, and I guess then the other debate is it quote unquote mainstream, and it's like, well, I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's pretty mainstream, and all these other bodybuilders who became actors later on.
Yeah. But here's the thing is, Arnold Schwarzenegger was the exception to the rule. Was the exception to the rule. He was something different, and he had to work hard. His first movie was a movie called Hercules, New York, and he didn't even say his own lines. He was a voiceover. He had another actor say his own lines, and he had to work from that movie up to he did a movie years ago with Kirk Douglas, where it was straight for TV. Then came yeah, I think he got Conan. Then came the Terminator movies, and then he just had to work. It was and there's quite a few bodybuilders who have made an acting career, like Lou Ferrigno, Franco Colombo, Corey Everson. We all remember Kim Zvetsky had that little small scene in the movie The Cell with Jennifer Lopez. But
Yeah.
those, like I said, those were just the exceptions to the rules. And I said Sue Price, like my man Blu-ray TV said, Sue Price, she did the Nemesis series. But pretty much those were just exceptions to the rules. you know,
Yeah.
and many bodybuilders. don't, depending, if you're good, most of the time if you either bodybuilder in a TV show or movie, you either played the bodyguard, you played the villain, or you just played the bodybuilder,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
you played the big dumb jock.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always yeah, to always get something else that interesting because you
Yeah.
have that kind of body. It's like obviously they're going to get you for your body,
Hmm.
and yeah, we should really do like an episode about like bodybuilding, female bodybuilding in popular culture. That's
Yeah,
definitely
I was.
something later on that I could think of.
Yeah, I would say. Oh, we got my man Steve Mutchler. I think Dave. Dave. Let's call him David. David. Let's call you David. I think David's from Australia, and I appreciate David coming by. He was on. I think no, it was Michael. No, this is David. David. No, this is David. He follows me. He's one of my subscribers. And I appreciate David coming by. And like I said, yeah, I was thinking about doing that because I was like putting something together about different bodybuilders who've done TV shows, movies, them like I said. Also, bodybuilders have done adult industry because there's quite a few. As you know, I did a video a while back about my friend Rondalee Cashmere, who's been sick. She's fighting with colon cancer, and she has been in the industry, the adult industry of it. And there's quite a few ladies who have done it because the fact was it's hard for these women to, some women can find regular jobs. There's quite a few female bodies who have regular jobs. And this one thing, it's hard for them to try to maintain a 9 to 5 and to compete at the same time. You got
Yeah.
to if you can rearrange your job in a way where you can, I want to go and do a show or use my vacation times, I can go do a show. And that's why so many ladies, many of these bodybuilders try to leave it like an open life. That's why many of them be trainers and work in work as work at gyms because if it's more of an open and free lifestyle, they can travel more. And like I said, it's just and I think good part of the '90s there was quite a few um, ladies that were like I remember the show Jenny Jones and Montel Williams used to quite often had bodybuilders on their shows. Now, Gerardo Rivera did it first, and Phil Donnie has done it, and also Jerry Springer. But those two did it the most. They had the most episodes. Even Jerry had a couple of female bodybuilders on his show. But Montel Williams was a big bodybuilding fan for ladies bodybuilding. He was a big bodybuilding fan of women because I got a magazine with him on the cover with I think it was he was with Dana Danis and I think it was Sandra Blackie or was it Shelly Betty? It was Shelly Betty. I can't remember who it was. It's somewhere in my in the, like cases I have with some magazines and some comic books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about with like all those appearances and like Geraldo and all those other ones. I think my first experience ever with female bodybuilding was either probably the cartoons I watched as a kid growing up. There was Tiny Toons. They
Oh
had an
yeah, I remember the
episode with that.
episode. Yeah, I remember the episode with was it Plucky
Yeah,
with the
and there was
teenage
also
girls.
yeah, and there's also one with the Simpsons with Marge Simpson.
Marge.
Yep,
And,
that's
I think Family Guy did an episode with not Family Guy, American Dad.
yeah,
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of somebody else who did it. You know, oh well, it wasn't really not really about Family Guy. Not really an episode about it was an episode when Lois went to prison. Yeah, but it was kind of like almost like a female bodybuilder. She was like in prison.
yeah,
She had to work out. Yes, it's kind of like that. But they do it so often. I think a lot of animation does it. You know, and it's just something because it's. I think they even had episode. They had like the episode where Lois was boxing and she was fighting like a female version of Creavalle from Rocky 3.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who else? Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob. Probably one of the most popular, well-known, another TV show from my youth.
Yeah, SpongeBob still going strong. I used to like, I used to love watching it. You know,
Yeah.
I used to remember I used to watch my one of my great nephews, and I remember years ago my older brother used to have a cell phone. He passed away. I had a cell phone, and I took and made a SpongeBob ringtone. I put on a SpongeBob ringtone on a cell phone, and I used to play it. My mom would tell me to play it for him, and he was my great nephew was probably about 2 years old, and I always played the SpongeBob SquarePants ringtone. I used to love it, and I used to remember one of my old bosses when I used to work at a strip club. He used to pick on me about, and one of the guys say, because like this, I grew up with a lot of kids. Like I
Yeah.
said, I had older brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews. Sometimes I had to watch them, and if you grew up with a lot of kids, you had to watch cartoons. I still watch cartoons today, you know. And kids like to watch cartoons. Still watch cartoons, kids. They're good cartoons. You like them, like what kids like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any, but anyway, it was nice talking to you, Jared. It was fun, you know. And, just like I said, next Monday, I'm gonna do something by myself. Because this gonna be the last Monday for Black History Month. Um, it's I'm gonna do a thing where I'm talking about my top 20 favorite female bodybuilders. I'm gonna have some pictures of the ladies that who I love, who I've been a fan of. Some women of yesterday, some women of today. If you're in the comment sections, you like them. If you have some favorites you like, tell me, let me know. And we'll talk about them. I might bring you on later when I'm done.
Yeah.
But like I said, this is just something I want to do. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm also going to work on some stuff coming up because we got a new month. We're going to have a more longer month because this month is short.
Yep.
Because it's already it's this the last month in February, and Black History Month is about over. I'm already working some more uh, stuff for female bodybuilders for Black History Month,
Yeah.
and also I'm working on some stuff for just Black History Month. So
I
uh,
I think we're talking about Black history. Would definitely be Diana Cadillo,
yeah,
Lisa Lewis, Vicky Gates. Those are definitely. Linda Murray. Yeah, those
yeah,
are like definitely like top black muscle for me growing up. And when I was an adult afterwards, you have um, brain's going completely dead. Margie Martin or Margie Marvelous and Andrea Shaw nowadays. But yeah, those are like peak of black muscle outside of Irish, of course, because
yeah.
she's the top. But these are Irish's disciples, basically.
Those are some great ladies on your list. I think but some of these ladies, some might not know, some might know. Some of these ladies have. And I think a couple didn't become pros. There's some ladies that I know that I always wish they would get their pro card, but depending on the circumstances, either they didn't present a great physique or just I don't know, they never became pro. But anyway,
Yeah,
Jerry, I really thank you, brother, for your time and your information. I really like to thank David in the uh, in the comment section. I'd like to thank my man Blu-ray TV. This was it was fun, As I like doing this because I like to talk about the subject of female bodybuilding. Right now, it's kind of dry because we don't have no competitions. We won't see no shows until about
June,
June. Oh my God.
maybe later, maybe later.
Well, we'll have some physique. We'll have some
Yeah,
physique because you're gonna have physique shows. Because I think international is going to be in March. Because I was working the classic, so I think Natalia Abraham's gonna probably repeat. It's gonna take a third title. There's some ladies that I think gonna like. There's some ladies I've said that might need to jump over to bodybuilding. That probably will. I mentioned the names before, like Ann Moon, and also Jeannie Feldman. But that's up to them. But anyway, I'd like to thank y'all for coming in. I'd like to thank my man Jared for coming by and dropping his information. Drop a comment. Drop a comment in the comment section. Drop a like. Drop a dislike. We love our haters because you know what? If you hate on me, you inspire me. You, like the Joker says, you complete me. So this is your man, all the way George Page, and his partner Jared, the Emperor and his I would say.
Call me like the historian, because that's
historian,
that's what my coworkers call me.
Yeah, this is the Emperor about female bodybuilding talk, and my historian Jared. We'd like to thank you for coming by. We thank you again, and come by next Monday. Yeah, peace.
Peace out.